Something on the brink right here. Yeah.
Can't believe I'm sitting here. My question is kind of like with what we've been talking about all morning now.
Good, because we only have one answer.
Okay. How can I get into a connection with my inner being? I know this is where my happiness is. I understand this is who I really am. This is where I should be, but how can I get there?
First, by figuring out when you're not there. That's easy. You don't feel good. Next, by identifying what it is you're focused upon when you don't feel good.
Okay.
So, and usually, it's interesting, what you're doing when you don't feel good is you're saying, I'm not where I should be. In other words, we can give this to you in such a powerful way. Your desire to be in alignment with who you are is so strong that what bothers you most is not being in alignment with who you really are. So you just keep saying, how do I get into alignment? How do I get into alignment? How do I get into alignment? How do I get in the vortex? How do I get into alignment? And we say, can you hear us when we say the vibration of a question and the vibration of the answer are two very different vibrations? And if you keep the question alive incessantly, why aren't I doing better? What am I doing wrong? How come it's not working out? Why am I not there? If you keep the vibration of a question alive all the time, then you never, just give that a rest. Just give that a rest. Look for evidence of how well you are doing. Remember when things were going well. Start making note of things lining up. Esther, even today, when she's driving, she'll drive sometimes 4 or 5 or 6 or 700 miles in a day. Sort of depends on the part of the nation that they're in. Every time she sees a sign that says 333 or 222 or 111, or she says, I'm in the vortex. Because there are so many mile markers that go by that she doesn't see. And when she sees one, she always grins. In other words, she's always looking for evidence of alignment, evidence of alignment, evidence of alignment. That's really all you got to do. Stop noticing so much when you're not aligned, and stop asking so much, why aren't I aligned? Why aren't I enlightened? Because your desire is so strong, friend. Your vortex is swirling in a very powerful way. If you'll just stop doing that thing that's holding you outside your vortex, it'll take you often.
Okay,
what's the thing that is most upsetting to you the most often? And we're not looking for some philosophical, we're talking about what's bugging you. What happens that freaks you out, or that makes you mad, or that...
My lack of self-esteem has been a big problem for me during my whole life. It's affected.
Of course, you know why? Because the source within you adores you so much. There is nothing that is more disabling than focusing on ways that disagree with the way the source within you feels. You didn't make that up. There were other people outside the vortex that trained you how to think about yourself. When there's somebody outside the vortex, they feel awful. And when they look at you, they feel awful. And then you say, oh, something must be wrong with me because they're looking at me and they feel awful. I wish that I could behave in a way that when they look at me, they would feel wonderful. And you tried, you gave that everything you had. But you just couldn't behave in enough ways to make them feel wonderful, could you? And so then your assumption was, something must be wrong with me, which is the biggest flawed premise in the whole universe. And the source within you never agreed with that. And isn't it interesting that the very feeling of lack of self-esteem, that empty, raw donut, awful feeling of disappointment or guilt or even fear, that feeling is your indicator that your thought is so screwy in comparison with source. Really, next time you come across that feeling of lack of self-esteem, you sat here, there are hundreds of people in this room, and you are the one with the strong desire that lit up at the end of this seminar that we wanted in this chair. And you said, I can't believe I'm here. Even though you are. I can't believe I'm here. Again, speaking to your feeling of not enoughness or inappropriateness. And yet the facts of the universe defy it over and over again, and yet you cling to that feeling of not enoughness. So whenever you feel that empty feeling that you call not enoughness or unworthiness or low self-esteem, stop and laugh from now on and say, the reason that it feels so empty is because it's so bogus. Negative emotion means this thought is bogus. What's this thought? I'm not good. I'm not good. Bogus thought. It must be a bogus thought, because if I were on the beam, I'd feel full of source. So then you start practicing. I'm inappropriate. Feel the not of it. I'm not as inappropriate as I have thought. Feel the relief of it. I might be on the right track. Feel the relief of it. I might be exactly on track. Feel the relief of it. Kind of feels like the source within me likes me, because whenever I get down on me, I lose my connection with source. That must mean something. It means everything, you see. Source loves you because source knows who you are. And when you don't love you, you're off. Now, something that is helpful, because you're not alone in this. There are a lot of people who have trained themselves or been trained by others not to like themselves very much. And we've noticed that teaching you to like yourself is harder than teaching you to like almost anything else. So you don't have to. So imagine that here you are shining your hose of appreciation out there. You find a cat, a dog, a donkey, a chicken. The government, no. Church, no. Beautiful girl, Me. So what you want to do is just feel around until you can love that and love that and love that and love that, because connection with source is about you focusing upon things that don't block the flow of love. You don't have to focus it on you. In other words, you don't need to be loved. You just want to love, you see.
Oh, okay.
So then someday you'll sit here and you'll say, Abraham, I never really liked myself very much, but it didn't matter because there were so many other things I did like I could focus on. And then one day I practiced liking that and that and that and that and that and that and that so much that suddenly I looked at myself and I thought, not bad. They like you. But they're in the vortex. Don't ask people who aren't in the vortex to love you. They can't. That's what's been going on. Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah, I've been experiencing that for some time now. Thank
Good.
you.
Yes, indeed.